Practice 9-4, solving quadratic equations. So there's a few ways to solve quadratic equations, but the two ways we're going to explore in this video are one, by graphing the equations, and two, by finding square roots. So first, let's take a look at graphing. So this y equals x squared is a quadratic equation that basically looks the same every time. You start at your origin 0, 0, and then you go up to 1, 1, 2, 4, and so forth on both sides of the y-axis. So if you have a constant after that x squared, what it does is either shift it up or down. So since this is negative 4 over here, everything shifts down 4 points. So your vertex is going to be at negative 4, and it's going to pretty much look like this. Okay, exact same parabola, just everything moved down 4 points. So let's take a look at number 1. We have x squared equals 16, and if we make this equal to 0 by subtracting 16 to both sides, we have x squared minus 16 equals 0. That means when we start with our original parabola, we are shifting, well, that does not look nice at all. We are shifting everything down to negative 16. So right here is going to be our vertex. So let's see, so our parabola is going to look something like this. Okay? So what x equals is where it intercepts the x-axis. So the x-axis is this line right here, so it intersects right here and right here. So this is negative 4 and 4. So what that means is x equals 4 and x equals negative 4. And this is your answer for number 1. So for number 4, we have x squared plus 16, so that means we're moving up to negative 16 from our original parabola. So that means we're going to start over here, and it's going to look like this. So it's just going to look tiny because there's not a lot of room right here. So in this case, the parabola does not intersect with the x-axis at all, because it starts up here and it just keeps going up. It's never going to be going down. So what this means is that there is no solution, and that is the answer for number 4, no solution. Number 7, we have x squared plus 8 equals negative 10. So now we are solving each equation by finding square roots. So what that means is we want the x squared on one side and all of the numbers on the other side. So since we have a plus 8 here, we want to get the x squared by itself. So we're going to subtract 8 from both sides. So we have x squared equals negative 18. So over here we have a problem, because nothing squared is ever going to equal a negative number. Because even if you have negative numbers squared, negative times negatives equals positives. So what this means is, once again, there is no solution. And that is our answer for number 7. So for number 10, we have x squared equals 80. So remember in our last section, we discussed how square roots are the opposite of squares. So if we want to find out what x is, not x squared, we want to undo this square by finding the square root of both sides. So this square root cancels out this exponent, this squared. So x equals the square root of 80, and so the square root of 80, you are going to need a calculator for this. And the instructions say, if necessary, round to the nearest tenth. So you're going to plug in 80 square root into your calculator, and you get 8.9. So it says round to the nearest tenth. Tenth means you add one number after the decimal. And since positives and positives equal positive 80, negative times negatives also equal positives, that means this could either be positive 8.9 or negative 8.9. this is going to be, what am I saying? Okay. Number 13, x squared equals square root of 300. So once again, we are going to find the square root of both sides, and this cancels this out. So we have x equals the square root of 300. Okay, and you can use your calculator for this, and you get 17.320508, but since we're rounding to the nearest tenth, we're just going to say 17.3. So x equals positive or negative 17.3, because you could go either way. So number 16, x squared plus 8 equals 72. We want the x squared by itself, so we want to get rid of this plus 8. So we're going to do the opposite of adding 8 to both sides. We're going to subtract 8. Okay, so x squared equals 64. And now we're going to find the square root of both sides. So this square root sign cancels out this exponent. So x equals the square root of 64. And the square root of 64 is positive or negative 8. So this is your answer. Number 19, 5x squared plus 20 equals 30. So first we want to undo everything and get x by itself. So we have this plus 20, so we want to do the opposite to both sides. So we have 5x squared equals 30 minus 20, which is 10. Now we need to get rid of this 5, because we can't find the square root of both sides with that 5 hanging around. So we're going to divide both sides by 5. So x squared equals 10 divided by 5, which is 2. And now we want to find the square root of both sides. So this square root sign cancels out this square. So x equals the square root of 2, and the square root of 2 is 1.4142, but we're just going to say positive or negative 1.4. So this is your answer for this problem. Number 22, 2x squared minus 7 equals 74. So we want to get rid of this minus 7, so we're going to do the opposite, add it to both sides. So we have 2x squared equals 74 plus 7, which is 81. Wait, is that right? Yeah, that's right. So now we want to divide both sides by 2. So x squared equals 81 divided by 2, which is 40.5. And now we want to find the square root of both sides. So this cancels this out. So we have x equals the square root of 40.5. And what that is 6.36. But we want to round up. So we have positive or negative 6.4. And this is our answer. Number 25. 9x squared equals 1. So since this x is being multiplied by 9, we want to do the opposite of multiplying to both sides, which is dividing. So these cancel out, so we have x squared equals, and we're going to leave this as a fraction, 1 over 9. Okay, now we want to find the square root of both sides, so this cancels this out, so x equals the square root of 1/9, which is the same as the square root of 1 over the square root of 9. Now the square root of 1 is 1, and the square root of 9 is 3. So x equals positive or negative 1/3. Number 28, x squared equals 9. All we need to do is find the square root of both sides. So this cancels this out, so we have x equals the square root of 9, and the square root of 9 is positive or negative 3. And this is our answer for 28. And now we are all done with practice 9-4.